Today I'm going to show you the process that I use to germinate my pepper seeds. And the same process can be used on other vegetables that you might want to start earlier in the season, like tomatoes or aubergines, or even slightly unusual and rarer things like the Naranjilla that I'm also growing.
The first step is going to be to sterilize your soil in an oven. Labeling is very important. If you don't keep records, you will definitely forget what you're growing, and two pepper seedlings look very similar to each other. This is hydrogen peroxide. This is a 6% solution. I use it for two things. I use it to spray onto the soil to add a further level of protection against pathogenic bacteria and fungus spores, and to soak the seeds in a 1 part hydrogen peroxide 6% solution to 10 parts regular tap water, effectively killing any bacteria or fungal spores that exist on the outside of the seed and soften the seed coat, which will enable quicker germination. These cups will be used as a humidity dome to maintain high humidity around the seeds to enable quicker germination. And here they are ready to go. They're going to be placed under a high power red-blue LED light. This will provide light, which is important for the germination of pepper seeds, and heat, which will enable them to grow much quicker. In optimal conditions, they can germinate in as little as 5 days, which is how long these took. And in less than optimal conditions, they can take as long as 2 months and potentially never grow, depending on how they've been done. So here they are. It's been a month and 18 days since they were first planted into the small 6cm pots that you would have seen at the beginning of the video. From there, they were put onto a heated mat under a red-blue LED in a grow tent that was maintained at about 25 degrees Celsius, and that really got them germinating fast. They've now been in these larger 2-litre pots for about 3 days. And what I've done from that point is I've thinned them out so that only the strongest and largest plant remains. I've got 10 of the ricotta, the capsicum pubescens varieties. I think a few of them failed. I'm going to put that down to bad seed, because in the ones that didn't grow, none of them grew. So considering that I had almost 100% success on all the other varieties, I suspect that the reason that the ones that didn't grow through were immature seeds when they were harvested. In addition to the ricotta peppers, I've got 1 aubergine and 1 Naranjilla. And a Naranjilla is in the same family as all the rest of these. They're all in the nightshade family, but it's a rare fruit from South America. In Colombia, the fruit's known as a lulo fruit, and they use it in various juices and that kind of thing. And it's basically impossible to get a hold of outside of South America. The plant itself is very unusual to look at. It has large thorns and huge leaves and just looks very sort of prehistoric. So I thought it'd be quite a cool statement plant just to grow in its own right, even if the fruit is not to my taste, which I've heard mixed reviews online. Anyway, they're now, as I said, in these larger 2-litre pots, in a soil mix that consists of coco coir, which is the fluffy exterior of a coconut, and what companies do that process coconuts for the milk or for the oil is they collect all this husk that is on the outside of the coconut and press it down into bricks, and they sell it as a environmentally friendly alternative to peat moss. Which is mixed with vermiculite, which is a mineral that holds water, perlite, which is a type of volcanic glass which aerates the soil, clay pebbles, which are expanded clay aggregate that does the same, aerates the soil and holds water, and John Innes number 2, which is a loam-based compost soil mix, and it's all blended together to hopefully give the right proportions of nutrient, aeration, and water retention. Because these guys like a slightly poor soil that drains well but also holds a bit of water. They're a bit picky with the soil that they have. From here, they're going to be grown on under this 65-watt full spectrum LED. And since we're halfway through February, the idea is to get them to a decent size, to get them pretty well root bound in these 2-litre pots before they're eventually planted out so that I have an established plant ready to go, ready to produce much larger yields than would be the case if I just started them on a windowsill or had started them when it was warm enough to grow them in a greenhouse or whatever. In addition, there are a few other things. There's this banana that I thought was just fun to grow next to the light, seeing as I've got surplus light that's escaping the perimeter of where the peppers and the aubergine and naranjilla are growing, which will hopefully get up to the level of the window and carry on through the summer. And I've got an alocasia plant as well.
So stay tuned, and I'll give you updates as and when they are showing signs of significant growth and when they are planted out in the summer.